So how did Israel pull off their really incredible, stunning counterintelligence hit on Hezbollah? Wow. Joining us now, Kash Patel, former Deputy Director of National Intelligence, Aaron Cohen, IDF Special Ops veteran. I want to hear what Aaron, this is pretty clever. I mean, they're not going to use pagers anymore as Hezbollah. They're not going to use walkie-talkies. They probably won't use cell phones. This is quite a coup for Israel. Sends the right message, I hope. Is this going to help solve the northern problem with Hezbollah?
Larry, I don't know if it's going to help solve the northern problem. There's two scenarios playing out in my head based on my experience. One, this could be a monster bait trap, hoping that Hezbollah is going to respond with fervor. And that'll give Israel license to fully invade southern Lebanon, get boots on the ground, and start clearing out those pockets of Hezbollah terrorist militants, just like Israel did methodically over the last 9 months with Hamas, killed almost 20,000 armed terrorists and sympathists. So that's number one with me. The other one here is we might have scared Hassan Nasrallah because an operation of this magnitude and this sophistication, again, the trick with intelligence, Larry, it's not information. It's really knowing how to take that information and read between the lines. That's the art of this warfare. And Israel was able to damage the communications and send that psychological monster message, as well as injure thousands and kill several dozen Hezbollah militants. But the real key here is Hassan Nasrallah scared enough to hang it up. That's really the psychological goal here. So we'll see how it's going to play out, but I wouldn't be surprised if you see some airstrikes in the next coming days, some commando operations. But remember, Israel has spent the last 5 months, Larry, watching those pagers and mapping out that entire region.
It's incredible.
Way before those pagers blew up, and we have a lot more information.
I want to get to Kash Patel, because Kash, you know, this is really quite a brilliant, I'm calling it a counterintelligence move. I've seen it written up as a counterintelligence move. Israel is a pretty clever bunch, I would say. I got to believe it hurts Hezbollah. I got to believe a lot of the Hezbollah leaders were either killed or were badly injured. They're on the terrorist list. They're all terrorists as far as I'm concerned. I want to get your take on this, because this may cause Hezbollah to push back. We say, wait a minute, we lost all these people. Israel, I mean, this is Israel's strength. They're like smarter, okay? They're more powerful. They're cleverer, Kash. That's the way I look at it. The Bidens aren't going to give them any help. We know that. Israel's got to do clever things like this by themselves.
No, you're absolutely right. Harris and Biden are just going to give him another $7 billion to fund wars and build a nuclear bomb. But the brilliance of this operation, and it is a CI operation, is as follows. They've basically taken the enemy's playbook and shoved it down their throats. What do I mean by that? They use outdated technologies, walkie-talkies, two-way touch talk, and beepers. That's what al-Qaeda used in Afghanistan to communicate along with repeater signals so they could stay off of our quote-unquote radar and our systems of detection. What the Israelis did was brilliant. They said, we're going to take your decade-old material, antiquated electronics. And here's the scary thing for Hamas, Hezbollah, and Iran. They had to go in there and not just insert this old technology onto humans, but they had to have an intelligence collection environment spread out around and surrounding Hezbollah and Iranian mercenary forces for months and months and months to deploy this. So the scary thing for Hamas, which is great, is how did you insert yourselves into our environment, get so close, provide us with technology and hardened infrastructure, and then have it utilized against us? They have to be shaking in their boots. They have to be terrified at the fact that the Israelis were so brilliant in pulling this off. And I agree with the co-host here. This has been planned for such a long time, and the Israelis don't play one-dimensional chess. I've worked with the Israeli intelligence services. This is probably, in my estimation, a part of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-prong approach that they have mapped out every single consequence to this
is like,
and I think Iran is probably, for the first time in this war, finally saying they may have us.
This is a Daniel Silva, Gabriel Allon spy novel, okay? That Daniel Silva, the great author. Gabriel Allon is the famous Mossad intelligence leader. Some call him an assassin. I've read almost there. I think I read every single book. This is something. Maybe Daniel Silver put it together. Who knows? Anyway, I want to go back to Aaron Cohen. Aaron, the other thing I want to talk about for a sec is Iran hacking into Trump's campaign and getting campaign documents to the Biden-Harris campaign. What do you make of that? How big a threat? Is there going to be more of that? Do we have protection against that kind of hacking?
I think the U.S. has the tools, and it's important that this came out because this shows how focused Iran is at getting involved and getting their fingers into United States politics. They are a serious threat here to the United States. And so I'm glad that came out. And from what I understand, President Trump now has presidential layered security. I believe that just came out. So he's going to have the counter snipers, going to have the intel teams. Now he's going to have a whole division of electronic guys digging in. But Larry, I want to say this about
can I just hang on one second? What do you mean presidential? Do you mean the Secret Service has formally given him presidential protection with respect to the Secret Service? Because that's new information to me.
From what I just read, the security layering for Trump has been significantly increased due to the multiple failures by Cheadle, Ronald Rowe, who I think is just kind of a bad copy of her, still part of that sort of DEI thing. Don't want to get political, but there's a lot of infections in all these federal agencies, and so I believe that he's got much more significant security now in order to reflect the level of threat, and so it's been taken a lot more seriously, and that'll include the counterintelligence and these threats from Iran here as well.
Let me give Kash the last word on that. We'll look. I'm not aware. There may be a news headline as we are reporting right now. We'll try to track it down. But Kash, how serious? I mean, will the Trump campaign? I mean, Mr. Trump said last summer, or in August or July, that he was being hacked in by Iran. Of course, nobody believed him. Now it turns out the FBI has said, yes, you were hacked. Question is, can they fight it, Kash Patel?
Well, here it is. Russia has finally been disproven yet again. And what we've been saying is Iran is coming at us hard and fast. And because they're targeting President Trump, the intel priorities from the Harris administration has not been to secure this president. It has been very public that the assassin told Iran on social media that he wanted Trump murdered. It has been very public that these cybersecurity operations were occurring. And who did they attack? The Trump campaign. And they sent that material to the Harris campaign. And now we're finding out the FBI is burying a report about the lack of security around President Trump. And the question we need to ask is, why is Chris Wray, the director of the FBI, not contacting the actual victim, Donald Trump, and sending this material to God knows who for political purposes? They have not prioritized the collection, and it doesn't matter if Trump has quote-unquote presidential level Secret Service details. The headquarters department in Washington has failed him because they intentionally decided not to provide that, even though there was a plethora of intelligence online saying Donald Trump's life was at risk. And Iran is going to continue these measures because Iran wants Harris. So they get funding for their bombs and their wars.
Appeasement never pays. Appeasement never pays. Kash Patel, thank you very much. Aaron Cohen, thank you very much.